Hello, it is a beautiful morning here in Sydney. It's glorious today. I can see blue skies and the sun is just rising. Now, right behind me, what you see here are all of these tomatoes. These are cherry type tomatoes, and the variety is Tigerella. In my last video, I talked about this briefly about how wonderful they are and how prolific they are. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about them, and I'm going to show you how they look like and what their sizes are. So this variety is called Tigerella, and you can see why they've named it so, because you can see that there are stripes on it that are a little bit lighter than the fruit itself, which is very orangey. So quite a nice size. So if I hold it against my hand, you can see that it is quite a nice size, and they're very prolific. So on this one plant so far, I think I've harvested about 1 kilo already, and there's some others that I haven't actually looked at yet, but probably like this one in here, I haven't actually looked inside yet whether they are ripe or not, but I've covered them because we do get fruit flies attacking them. And this particular variety is very good in the garden here, because you can start sowing them and start growing them from around perhaps in middle of spring, and they will start to germinate. All of these are grown from seeds that I collected from last year, and they will just keep growing. This plant will just keep growing and growing and keep fruiting until at least early autumn. And obviously if I sow some now, some seeds now, they will grow until well into late autumn, maybe even early winter, because our winter isn't all that cold here in Sydney. So it's absolutely possible to get tomatoes still around May or even June. So it is a great variety to grow in a garden, and you can actually get up to 20 kilos of tomatoes from each plant. So apart from being quite prolific and quite long fruiting in terms of the season, what I've also found with the Tigerella variety is that it is very adaptable. So I've grown it in soil types which are, you know, slightly acidic to slightly alkaline, and it seems to do fine. You know, the only difference is whether it would actually fruit more or fruit less. In this particular patch here, I didn't even test the pH, and I just stuck it in after it germinated, and it had absolutely no issues at all. You know, growing and fruiting and flowering. So I think it's a really good variety. So far, of all the tomato varieties which I've grown in the garden here, this is the best performing one so far. So I highly recommend it. So if you can find this particular variety, then look for it and give it a go.